Hi folks. All right, I am working on this ColecoVision video game system, and like a lot of people, I wanted to figure out a way to get the audio and video out so that I could feed it into a modern TV that didn't have the analog ATSC tuner on it. You know, the ColecoVisions came with basically a RF output that you could set to channel 3 or 4. But if your TV doesn't take that, you need to put on the audio and video jacks for Composite. Now, looks like there's a lot of information online and websites and yada yada. And I said, oh, that seems pretty simple. And I did it. But I found some big flaws in most of the schematics that were out there that I wanted to just do a quick video and talk about. I'm going to try to make this quick. So I have an old ColecoVision that also has the Atari adapter. And when you do the audio off of the IC, the audio IC, and you can see my solder goop there and some hot glue. The audio comes out of that for playing the ColecoVision games, but it does not come out when you play the expansion games. So that's an error in those designs. And the way to correct that is, instead of pulling the audio off of the IC that most of the schematics have, you want to pull that audio directly off of the pin 2 of the input jack on the RF connector. And that actually has the summation of the audio from the ColecoVision IC, but also the audio that comes out from the expansion pack. And if you do it just on that IC, you will only get the ColecoVision games and not the expansion games. But if you do it right off the RF modulator, you'll get both sets of audio. All right, so that's one correction that you want to do, and that's basically ground and pin 2 that you can see. I know it's kind of covered up and hard to see, but on that main connector that goes up to the RF modulator, pin 1 is ground, pin 2 is actually the audio, and that comes out to my jacks. The rest of the circuit there is basically what you see from other designs on the internet. It's a 3904 standard transistor with the collector on VCC at 12 volts. The base connected to, boy, I can't remember what pin that is. I think it's pin 6. And then a resistor from the emitter to ground, and then you take your, it's a typical follower circuit. So it's just an emitter follower amplifier to basically buffer that video signal out to the composite output. Most of the designs have a 1K resistor off the emitter. I found that that was still overdriving this old TV, or this newer TV, and I ended up lowering that to about a 500, I think it's a 560 ohm off the emitter, and that brought the signal into a good signal for the composite as shown on my TV. So just a subtle change there. You could do the 1K, but I found, like on the big blue screens, the white lettering was massively faded out. So I dropped that out to 560, and that seemed to work just fine. So again, standard emitter follower transistor with the collector on VCC, the base on, I think it's pin 6 of the connector. I can't remember, 8, 7.6, yeah, I think it's pin 6. And then the emitter with a resistor to ground, and you pull your composite video signal from the emitter basically across that resistor, and you pull that out to the connector that I've drilled in here. Now, one final thing that I also discovered is that none of the designs really account for the fact that both of those signals coming off of this jack have DC on them. And so the audio signal and the video signal are biased up on a DC level. And depending on your TV set, and it happened to be on this Samsung, it was causing a little bit of havoc. And so I just had to AC couple that final signal. And so I put a small capacitor, about 47 microfarad or 100 microfarad between the signal and the connector, just to remove that DC coming out of there. Anyway, so that's my, well, not so quick, a little over 6-minute explanation of what I did to sort of correct some of the design flaws of the previous posts on how to do the composite audio and video out of the ColecoVision. And there you go.